how Breath of the Wild multiplayer breaks Calamity Ganon. What if Breath of the Wild had multiplayer? And how would the game respond to multiple links running around the world of Hyrule? Well, today we're taking on Hyrule Castle and Calamity Ganon to see how effective and broken multiplayer can be. And if you want to see more absurd Breath of the Wild multiplayer challenges in the future, subscribe right now because there's more coming. So this isn't the first time I've done absurd multiplayer experiences. From the original Animal Crossing, to Luigi's Mansion, to Super Mario Galaxy, Mario 64, and Wind Waker, it's kind of no surprise that we've arrived at Breath of the Wild. The mastermind behind this is Kirbymimi, who has created lots of awesome things over the years, originally starting with reviving Luigi's Mansion's multiplayer mode. So a major shout out to them for sending this over my way to take it for a spin. I'll drop a link to their Discord channel in the description below, where they do all sorts of cool stuff. But with that said, here we are. Multiple links in the whole world for us to conquer. Each link can wield their own armor and weapons, and enemies are capable of targeting whichever link they want to. You can also, hurt your friends with bombs, so be careful with that. There's a few kinks to work out, but honestly, I was blown away by how smoothly it ran. So naturally, after playing around a bit in Hyrule, I wanted to head towards Hyrule Castle to experience a true challenge. So we warped over there and began our quest. I was honestly a bit worried about all the Guardians, since having two links running around meant we would aggro them a lot easier. And of course, we were careless as heck. But two links wailing on a Guardian drops it pretty darn fast. We found a way to the front gate, climbed up the side of it like Alex Honnold, and then prepared for the barrage beyond that wall. As we jumped down below, neither player had any regard for the other, as we just wanted to survive the ordeal. Higher and higher we climbed, until we came across the white-maned Lionel. I was really curious how a Lionel fight was going to go, since it normally feels like a one-on-one duel, but multiple links can deal a massive amount of damage, despite how high of health this enemy has. We tried to avoid doing any slow-motion triggers like a flurry rush, since there can sometimes be glitches associated with it, which I'll certainly touch on later. Because enemies flinch for a moment when struck, it actually slows them down a ton when multiple links are pummeling them quickly, so we can hold them in place, and it isn't long until they go down. It's now a mad sprint to the top of the castle, and before long we make it to our final destination. Little does Calamity Ganon know that he's up against two legendary heroes today. As the champions of Hyrule strike Calamity Ganon with their Omega Laser of Death, a second hero rises from the smoke. Wielding the power of two Master Swords, things aren't looking too good for our chaotic friend. I immediately snipe Ganon off the wall, and as he's recovering, both links bring on the pain. The Master Sword currently has an attack power of 60, and there's two of them, so it hits decently hard. Ganon can only target one of the links for his projectile attacks though, like the giant cubes, which is pretty nice as that player can lead the attacks away. This also means the other player can attack him without worry. We begin running from his laser attacks when he gets back up on the wall, but Link number 2 snipes him down with ease, and a moment later, Calamity Ganon enters his golden form. So this part is tricky because trying to slow down time, whether by flurry rushes or by being airborne, can screw up the game if you don't exit the sequence properly. The first flurry rush goes fine, and we get some good damage in, but then things get a bit broken. A glitch double reflection of Ganon's laser makes the game enter a perpetual state of bullet time. Movement stutters and is choppy, and this effect only got worse as we continue to attempt deflects, which are very hard to pull off with the weird stutter frames. We rely on Daruk's power to pull one off, but as we damage Ganon, things get worse and worse. Suddenly the curse is lifted, and we think we've won, but then something far more terrible happens. Two links deflect the same laser, and the game just breaks. Both of us begin to fly around without touching the ground, and the controls feel like we're on ice skates. To make matters worse, our animations take 5 times as long to play out. So if we get hit down, we are down for like 15 seconds. We can't even deflect because the animation is so slow. We were so close to beating Ganon, but in this super glitched state it's impossible, as our bows and Daruk's ability won't trigger. So we had to restart. On our second run, we ran into the same bullet time issue, but it wasn't as bad this time. We were afraid of the glitch progressing, so we utilized Urbosa's Fury to hold Ganon in place with lightning as we delivered the final blows. As the fight ended and the cutscene played, we realized something else funny happened. Only one of the two links was teleported away to fight Dark Beast Ganon, and the other was still within the original boss arena. We had to utilize a quick warp function to teleport the other link to the battlefield, and luckily it worked. Dark Beast Ganon was going to be mincemeat against two bows of light though. The horse wasn't working properly, so we mostly did everything on foot. Even without the horse, we were still able to get around Ganon and knock out the targets one by one. He could only focus on one of us, which made things a bit easier. But we ran into a major problem. So, for some reason, the last hit became glitched for us. We weren't able to use our gliders properly, nor could we enter bullet time while in the air. And no matter what we did, the eye would close before our arrows hit because we could not slow down time. Even with both links firing a barrage, it was useless. And then the cursed glitch happened again. Our actions became too slow to fire arrows, and we were sitting ducks just waiting to be destroyed. The gliders no longer worked, and we were done for. And, trying to warp took us to another dimension that just wrecked me. Although it was a beautiful light show as Link got torn apart. I'm sure Ganon can be beaten, but we unfortunately fell victim to the strange glitch. However, fighting Ganon like this was incredible, and it was a ton of fun. I hope you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you did, and of course, I'll see you all soon in the next one. Cheers!